I don't know if you caught this. There hasn't been much conversation about it in the media, but the Republican, the Department of Homeland Security has to be refunded. That is, we have to once again put money in to fund them going forward for the next year by February 27th. This is February. The 27th is about 3 weeks from now. Weeks. And if it doesn't get funded, then there'll be all kinds of layoffs at the Department of Homeland Security. And theoretically, all the airports would come grinding to a stop because TSA people weren't working and stuff like that. Now, the fact of the matter is that this has happened before. We've seen these kind of things, where the Republicans are playing games with the federal budget, and they don't care if, some federal employees get hurt. In fact, I think they delight in it. And, the TSA employees and the other DHS employees will almost certainly show up and work for free. In large part because they're not really working for free. That in the past, whenever this has happened, Congress always authorizes a retroactive payback to them, for having worked. But the net of the whole thing is that this is all because the budget for the Department of Homeland Security has attached to it a rider, an amendment that says that President Obama cannot use federal money to implement his Dreamer program and some of his other tinkering around the edges of our immigration to the extent that he can through executive order. It would be just like the thing that they've been putting into the NDAA now for 6 years in a row, the National Defense Authorization, which has to be done every 2 years according to the Constitution, that says that the president may not use any federal money to close Guantanamo Bay. Because the Republicans want to make sure that Obama leaves office with this scar, this scab, this recruiting tool for Al-Qaeda and ISIS and all the rest of them, of Guantanamo Bay. It is keeping Guantanamo open. There's this thing that the Republicans are absolutely committed to. Is one of the worst things that we can do. It's one of the best helps for the terrorists, basically. Because they point to Guantanamo and say, you think we're bad? Look at what America did. They killed people there. They're still torturing. They don't believe in the rule of law. They've got people there who never committed any crime, and they've been there more than a decade. You think we're barbaric? Well, yeah, I do think that they're barbaric, but in any case. So the Republicans wanted to undo, because their base is all freaked out about, oh my God, he's going to let, a couple of million Hispanics, brown people, we can't have that. And so the Republicans put this in the bill. It came out of the House, and then it went to the Senate. And of course, in the Senate, turnabout is fair play. The Democrats can now filibuster things, and they filibustered it 3 days in a row. And so now the House Republicans are saying, well, we passed the bill. It's up to the Senate. And the Senate Republicans are saying, but you passed a bill that the Democrats are filibustering, so, you got to come up with a different bill. And we'll put some kind of a fig leaf on there so that the base will think that we did something, but we've got to fund the Department of Homeland Security. And so now we've got this argument going on, literally, within the Republican Party between the Boehner, Republicans in the House and the Mitch McConnell Republicans in the Senate. It's absolutely bizarre. Absolutely bizarre.